Hey everybody, welcome back to Submarine History, where today we're going to continue the briefing series on ENIGMA. Today we're going to spend a little time talking about Ken Groupen, which was a key that was sent with every ENIGMA message to make each message unique and added complexity to the Allies' effort to break ENIGMA messages. In part 2 of this briefing series, I glossed over the use of Ken Groupen when creating ENIGMA messages because for the stuff that I've done with ENIGMA, such as the ENIGMA challenge over at Cipher Machine and Cryptology website, the Ken Groupen are not needed or it's ignored. But I have had some people ask me to explain the use of Ken Groupen, so we're going to do just that. Please take time to read the description for this briefing, as there are a lot of useful and interesting links to ENIGMA-related websites, and I have the settings for our ENIGMA example listed, as well as the encrypted message itself. Now, I didn't double check my work when encrypting the message, so it would be great if someone would do that for me and let me know if I made any mistakes. As always, feel free to stop the briefing at any time if you want to study a slide. So let's hit it. Our references for today. So let's start first with the idea of the nonce, which means number once. So what is a nonce? A nonce in cryptography is an arbitrary number used only once in a cryptographic communication. The addition of a nonce helps to improve the security of a cryptographic message. For ENIGMA use, a nonce is a randomly selected group of letters that is used for one message and one message only. It is the key to that individual message. By using a nonce, each ENIGMA message sent during a day is unique, even though the rotors, ring settings, and plug board are the same for all messages sent during that day. So what is a Ken Groupen? A Ken Groupen is a set of letters used only once in an ENIGMA message. The addition of the Ken Groupen helps to improve the security of an individual ENIGMA message. By using the Ken Groupen, each ENIGMA message sent during the day is unique, even though the rotors, ring settings, and plug board are the same for all messages sent during that day. So essentially, Ken Groupen is a kind of nonce. Okay, so here we have a cipher table, and you saw this in the last ENIGMA briefing. I did generate a new one. This is for April of 1940 to celebrate that we're in April. And we're using the B reflector, which isn't indicated on this cipher sheet. And when I started working on this briefing, it was April 21st. So we're going to be using the information for the 21 line. And if you look closely at this table, you'll notice these are machine settings for the month of April. And you'll see at the bottom we start at April 1st and we go up until we get to April 30th. Now they did it this way so that at the end of the day they could put a straight edge down at the bottom of the paper and they could just tear off that one line. Then when they were done with April 2nd, they'd move that straight edge up and then they would tear that off and throw it away. So it was just convenient to organize the tables like that. So this is a close-up of the 21 line, and these would be the the ENIGMA machine settings for that day. And starting on the left, we have the date. Then we go to which rotors we're using and in which order. Then the ring settings for each of those rotors, followed by our plug board pairs. Now on the right hand side, this column, these are your Ken Groupen. And when you see the Ken Groupen on these sheets, this is intended for Heer, or Army, and Luftwaffe use. The Kriegsmarine didn't employ the Ken Groupen this way. So why do they have this here? They have this here because this machine setting table is actually generated by a computer program that you can get through the Cyber Machine and Cryptology website. And I think it was their intent just for someone to generate one table that could be used either for Army, Air Force, or Kriegsmarine. So it was just convenient just to consolidate this all together. So if the Kriegsmarine didn't use the Ken Groupen that were supplied on the monthly machine setting tables, what did they use? So in the Kriegsmarine, they use something called the, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce this in German, but it's a double letter conversion table. And what they would do is they would come up with their Ken Groupen, which is also called the indicator or the message indicator group. So, and this would be 8 letters, 2 4-letter groups. And what they would do is they would have a separate set of tables that did double letter conversions, so they could take that Ken Groupen that we need to encrypt our message, and you could basically do a substitution so that you're hiding what the actual Ken Groupen is when you transmit the message. And this was a much better system than what the Army and the Air Force used. I'm not going to get into that now because I'm just trying to stay on point and keep it to the Navy side of things. But this is an example of a double letter conversion table. I'm sorry that the quality is poor. It's really hard finding these things on the internet. In this case here, it's 2 sheets. The first sheet covers letters A to M, and the second sheet covers letters N to Z. So let's go ahead, and we're going to do a new message here in encoding it, and we're going to do it including the Ken Groupen. So these are the settings for our messages. We're using an M3 ENIGMA, that's the Naval 3 rotor. We're using Reflector B. Our wheel order is 1, 4, and 3. Our ring settings are 0, 20, and 7. And our plug board pairs are listed. I won't go over those. You can just stop the slide if you want to read them. Again, this is all in the description for the video, so you don't actually have to stop this and try to write this stuff down. Okay, so this is our message. And this is a totally fictitious message. I just made this up for this example. But the message is from the point of view of some sort of German spy ship. Maybe it's a fishing boat running a Spanish flag off the coast of Spain, something like that, you know. But the message is from Serenity, which is the name of the ship. Escorted Konvoi Grid CF77 heading east 5 knots. Tankers spotted. And then above it, I have the German equivalent, which is what we're going to use from here on out. So before we can encrypt this message, we have to set up our Ken Groupen. And this goes back to the last briefing that we did. But what we're going to do is we're going to choose as our key indicator group. This will be the starting position of the rotors when we encrypt our key. But our key indicator group is going to be GBM, and our encryption indicator group in plain text is going to be DQJ. We have chosen these 2 groups of letters ourselves. Now, when we feed this information into ENIGMA with our machine settings, we will get out the encrypted version, which is B. We'll get our encrypted version of the key, which will be BMG. So we are working with 4-letter groups. So what we need to do is we need to add a dummy letter to the beginning of the key indicator group, and then we need to add a dummy letter to the end of the encryption indicator group. In this case, it's K. So now we're going to do our double letter substitution. And we're going to do that like this. Okay. We're going to organize our Ken Groupen vertically into 2-letter pairs. AGBM BMGK. And what we're going to do is we're going to consult the substitution tables, and where this first column is the A column. So if I start with A, move down to G, and then read to the right, I get JE. And then when I go to the B column, go down to M, and read to the right, I get VC. Likewise, for the second group of letters, I start with B, go down to M, and I read to the right, and I get VC. And then for the last pair, I start in the G column, go down to K, read to the right, and I get ZU. And that's where we have our key intergroup being JEVC and our encryption indicator group, which has been enciphered, as VCZU. Now, whoever you're sending this message to, not only will they know your machine settings because they're going to be working from the same tables you are, but they will also have these same double letter or bigram substitution tables. So when they see the message come in, this is what they're going to see. They're going to see, the message is going to be sent. It's being sent to BDU at 11:48 hours on the 21st day of the month. We'll just say this is the 6th message of the day. And there's a total of 29 letter groups. And we are going to put our Ken Groupen at the front and the back of the message. And the white lettering actually is the message which I have already encrypted. So this message is ready to go. So it gets transmitted. When it's received by BDU, they will understand that the first 4 letters are not actually part of the message itself. Rather, they are the indicator group. And they're going to pull that out. They're going to take that JEVC, VCZU, and they're going to consult their substitution tables, and then they're going to go and get the plain text position indicator group and the encryption key. Once they have that, then they will reset the rotors to the proper position, and then they'll go ahead and run this encrypted message through, and then they'll get their plain text. So that's how they did it. So this is a slide from the last briefing. So what I did wrong, or what I failed to do when I presented that example, I did not do the substitution on the indicator group or the Ken group or the Ken Groupen. I've done that here using the two bigram tables that we had, just because it was convenient. So this would actually so for the message that we did in part 2 of the series, the indicator group actually would be WJZG, VWGZ, and that's how you would do that. In the description to this video, I do have a link to SourceForge where you can actually download a program that will generate those bigram tables for you, which is kind of neat because through the Cipher Machine and Cryptology website, we have the program that they provide where we can generate our daily machine settings, and then through this other program from SourceForge, we can actually do our bigram tables. So we actually have all the material that we need here to actually run our own radio transmitting ciphering station.
And that's it for today, everyone. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the briefing, and we'll come back again. Feel free to contact me via email. I am on Discord, Twitter, and I do have a Patreon. Thanks to USNI for doing the job they do so well. Their publishing arm is an invaluable resource to the preservation of naval history. Consider becoming a member so their work can continue long into the future. Till next time, peace out.